Hi, I'm Sky and Thread Tarot, otherwise known as Kelly, and this is my flip through and first impressions of Wormwood's Corrupted Tarot. Okay, so now that you've seen the flip through, welcome back. This is from a Kickstarter. If you don't know Wormwood, they do kind of game-oriented furniture and gaming accessories, all done out of wood. But when I saw their Kickstarter for a tarot, I was very, very interested. I'm going to start with the pros, and then I'll get into some of the cons of what I've noticed just working with this deck or opening and looking through this deck so far. The box is okay. You can kind of see the reinforcements through, I don't know if you can catch that in the camera, the reinforcements on the corners through the paper, paper outside catches every finger smudge, and mine had some denting, scuffing in it. When I got it, I just noticed that the box, I think it had one layer of bubble wrap, but the way the box was bigger than the tarot box, it kind of sat at this awkward angle, and I think it was able to be like jostled around, so I wasn't super, oh, this is pros, not cons yet, whoops. Oh well, I will just say that I wasn't super happy with the shipping, but it arrived otherwise wholly in one piece. Sorry, let's get back on track here. What do I like? Okay, well, first of all, I never thought I was gonna like a collaboration deck. I usually don't, because they don't feel cohesive. Normally, also I love these like mirror gilded edges. Like they're so chrome, they're so bright and shiny. I'll probably destroy them over time like I do with all my gildings, but it's just how I love my decks, okay? But yeah, the heavy theme in this deck made it work for me with all of these different artists, all these different art styles, you know? I'm gonna show like some of the big, like where's the chariot? Like going from kind of something so fully rendered as that chariot, it feels kind of like classical painting style, and then something that's very graphic and modern like comic style with the High Priestess. Like it works in this deck. Normally it does not work for me, but I think they picked so many great artists that I already followed that I think definitely understood this assignment. I love the artists that they chose. I love that in the book, the cards feel like they're explained by the artist. And also I think on the Wormwood or Corrupted Tarot website, you can also look up each of the pieces of art and their artists and what the artist said. So even if you don't own this deck and you just want to get to know some of the artists, they were really, really amazing in introducing all the artists that way. And I basically started following all of them on Twitter. I knew some of them already. You know, like Andy here, I already followed. I absolutely love their work. But then seeing everybody else in here, I was just like, I think I have fallen in love with every single artist. Yeah. Tropical Gloom as well. I've been a long time fan. So when they said they were doing this, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to buy it then. So yeah, I am in love with every single one of these cards, despite the difference in style, because the theme just carries over so well. And is it perfect? Do I feel like everyone understood their card that they did? Maybe not 100%, but I'm never 100% happy with any deck. So as long as like the ratio is high enough, which it is in this one, I'm very happy. This deck is meant to be an inverted tarot. So it is talking about the bad qualities of every card or the negative associations. So that may be hard for some people to work with. It is probably meant specifically for shadow work. So it's almost like if you get these cards in reverse, then they would be the upright of your normal reading. If you can work like that with it, which I think might be pretty cool. I do like that at least if you just want to use it in your rote knowledge, you can still do that. I think this is going to definitely replace my Tarot of Oppositions, because my Tarot of Oppositions, because my Tarot of Oppositions just feels so locked in to their reversal meanings, where this one's still kind of, I can still have a lot of intuitive room to play with this. Ugh. Okay, I am also like, my favorite horror trope is werewolf, so the moon card being a werewolf. Beautiful, impeccable, wonderful. I love it. Okay. Also, another plus to this deck is the borders. I normally don't like borders, but I felt like these were not intrusive to the artwork. They kind of feel like you're looking through like a little window or a little doorway, but they don't take away from it. Now, this is just a standard pledge from the Kickstarter. I think there was a deluxe or a collector's version of it that had like hollow foil backs and stuff, and I wanted it, but also I have been backing way too many Kickstarters lately, so money was also of importance, like the value was so I was on a budget, we'll say. But I'm happy to have this one, and yeah, I think all the artists did a great job. I will say it looks like sometimes they both drew from the same fairy tale, especially this 3 and 4 of Wands. They do kind of lead right into each other, which is could be a plus, could be a con, depending on if you don't like that some stories are revisited, like maybe the artist didn't communicate with each other who was doing what. I mean, it was 78 different artists, so I can kind of understand that they probably didn't communicate with each other. But I kind of like that they flow in this aspect, you know. So it's like, if I got these both in a reading, I would definitely look into more of like what the Baba Yaga and Vasilisa story, like the moral of that story is overall. So yeah, sometimes it's good, you know, sometimes it's bad. Some people don't like story tale or folk tale aspects in some of these cards. See, like there's another moon, right? Another werewolf and another moon. So if we got the moon as well, then, you know, you could dig further into that werewolf trope, or that, you know, what symbolically werewolves really represent, right? Because it always is, it's always talking about society and the way people are treated in society, right? It's a, what, allegory. There we go. That's a big word for me. That's a big word for Elmo. All right, so yeah, this was done by another artist I really like. Just some cool stuff. So if you like dark fantasy, a lot of dark fantasy, a lot of dark folk tales, you know, this is for you. This was for me. Now, I don't know if they're doing a mass printing of this. I hope that they would. I really, really hope that they would, because I think people will really like this. I think a lot of people would buy this if they got the chance, you know? So I don't know. I'll have to keep you guys updated if, when I post this, there is information to purchase this. I will link it. But as of right now, I just know that it was a Kickstarter and it was like a collectible from a company who doesn't specialize in tarot, which is a good segue into the cons of this deck. Number one, I love that they wanted to do a matte you know, card. It's beautiful. It has just the tiniest bit of finish on it. I do wish it had a little more finish on it though. These cards feel very unprotected. So don't sneeze on them. Don't drink your coffee over them when you use them. They feel like they have very, very little protection from the elements. I know people don't like glossy cards, but I love glossy cards for that. They're very forgiving. If for some reason they're around children or clumsy people or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you can kind of wipe them off and continue on with your day. Number two, this piggybacks on that because these are flimsy. These are papery. These feel like they have a nice flip, I think, because of this gilding. I think if they didn't have this gilding, they wouldn't even have this bendiness to them. And I am terrified of bending them. I am going to crease this deck at some point, and when I do, I will be absolutely heartbroken because that crease ain't coming out. Like, I've creased some of the thicker decks, and you can almost slowly work that crease back out, but this one, and because I love the artwork in this so much, it'll be like doubly heartbreaking. So just be weary of that. Like, it is super delicate. And it just makes, as much as I'd love to make this like a workhorse deck, I feel like it will never be because of how thin, and I'll just have to always be very cautious with it. I can't let clients hold it and touch it because I'll be too protective. You know, there's plenty of other decks they can hold and touch and use, but not this one. Nope. Even my friends, very specific friends, will get to touch this. So I hate that I'll have to be very protective of it because of how thin this cardstock is. The second issue I have is the book. There is a very simple, tiny, two pages of telling you what the tarot is. So if I bought this as a collector for Wormwood, like I just buy everything Wormwood is because I love their company and I thought it was really cool and whatever, I get 2 pages of what a tarot is. I have no information on how to do spreads. I have no information barely on the cards themselves. They gave us some keywords, the corrupted keywords. And while I like every artist got their say on like what their card means, I would have also liked to have an actual tarot reader have a blurb also about tarot and how to use how these cards are meant to be used, because the book also makes it feel very much, it's just collector's edition. They have no intention of really making this for tarot readers, which kind of feels slightly like a slap in the face. Like, cool, you made a collectible for your fans or your clients, your repeat customers. But if you're trying to get tarot readers into your company, or becoming clients of your company, becoming customers, I do think maybe you needed to treat us with a little bit more respect, Wormwood. I think you could have really looked into card stocks a little bit more. You could have looked into guidebooks and how important guidebooks are for people who are either new to the tarot, which you're trying to like cross-pollinate genres here, right? So if they could have looked into how to make this book a little bit more easy for a beginner reader, and also just having someone who actually reads tarot for a living, put a little bit more valuable information in this book, I think would have been nice. I mean, it really showcases the art, and I do love that. It's full color. I mean, the printing of it, the book is probably a higher quality than the cards are, if I'm honest. Again, the box left a little bit to be desired as well. I do love the spot gloss there on the top, but the rest of the box feels like it kind of got left behind. There wasn't a lot of effort put into this box design. It is solid and it will protect your cards, and they did that right. But you can tell they're not a tarot company. You can tell. And so the quality of things, the quality of the artwork came out absolutely stunning. The quality of the card, and just kind of owning the concept of what a tarot reader is, and not just, hey, how could we get a bunch of artists to work together? That would be cool. It's like we were used as an excuse to work with a bunch of artists. and I don't know how to feel about that at the end of the day. It feels a little, I don't know, like a cash grab, I feel like it got used for a cash grab a little bit, but only from Wormwood's side. The artists themselves, I'm glad to have all these pieces of artwork from artists that I really, really like, and a lot of artists that I didn't know before that I'm falling in love with now. So it's good, but it does have some bad issues there. So yeah, I mean, just a little bit that kind of rubbed me the wrong way once I really got to working, or at least looking at this deck. I want to say working, but I haven't worked with it yet. I've only really flipped through it, looked at it, held it in my hands. First impression. This is a first impression. This isn't a review, a full-fledged review. But this is going to be a deck that I think, unless you like working with shadow aspects, or you like doing kind of darker readings, I like having some decks like this, because I actually do some kind of celebrity scandal readings on my other channel, and sometimes I need decks that come at it from, that are unearthing the shadows. Like I need to feel like they're kind of coming at it from that other side. And so I'm really, really excited to work with this. Again, I've been wanting a deck that has like a true shadow side, that like, just like my what you call it, Dark Mirror Oracle. This feels like it's going to go with that Dark Mirror Oracle really, really well, because it's going to unearth the dark, shadowy sides of things. So I am grateful to Wormwood for bringing all these artists together and getting this out in the middle of a panini and, you know, the middle of the plague, and we didn't have to wait that long. You really fulfilled your obligations, and you kept your communication in the Kickstarter in a wonderful way. I know they're really known for that, whereas there's some Kickstarters where we don't get regular updates like the first of every month. We don't get, you know, our work in this timely of a manner. You know, I feel like we were really lucky for that. So maybe if they had to cut a few corners to get there, I can kind of understand that. But I do feel like the book could have been better. If you don't read tarot yet, this book is going to be a little lacking. I think it's a good enough book, but I would get a supplement tarot book, you know. Go get a basic tarot 101 book to go with this if you've never read tarot before, because this is twisting it. It's corrupted. It's a twisted tarot, you know. So yeah, it's nothing wrong with if it's your first deck. Just know that this book is not going to teach you very much. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I really liked this. I really enjoyed the artwork on these cards. I just can't stop looking at it. Again, I'm sorry, no face cam today. I'm getting over cold, and I just, you know how it is. If you don't feel your best, I'm like, I'm not putting on makeup. I barely brushed my hair. It is what it is. I feel like these cards. It's one of those days, you know. But yeah, thanks for sitting with me talking about these cards. Again, I'll put any information I can that's available about how to collect them. And, you know, if you liked my tarot cloth, I'm making a few and selling them up on my Etsy shop, which will be back up by the 18th, because right now I'm joining in the strike against Etsy and the higher fees. And yeah, we don't like that stuff. So, but the strike ends on the 18th, and we'll be back up by then. So hopefully I'll have this up within that window of time, because I think today's the 16th. Might be. Somewhere in there. So soon. But yeah, if you like the cloth, let me know. And I also have readings available up on the Etsy shop. And I have a lot more flip-throughs on the channel. I'll make sure to link those at the end here. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks. Shout out to Wormwood for the Corrupted Tarot and all the amazing artists that took part of it. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.